fine. We're all good. We got plenty of time. Oh, don't want to do that. Oh, that's stupid. Hey, and welcome to the show. Hi, everybody. The person sitting here, Dean and Fernando, for the moment.
For the moment only.
For the moment, he's
coming. His seat is right here.
Yeah, he's out giving a demo to one of the customers picking up his truck today. And I'm wearing a hat because we just got back from the sound competition. I came in early and finished our job so that we could, and then we didn't know Mary Lou was going to show up. And so she was our Uber over to the car show.
Yes, I'm an Uber now.
Yeah.
No, Lyft. I don't like Uber.
Whatever. You're okay. She was our Lyft over to the car show today. So we got the ability to go today instead of tomorrow.
Oh my
What's
God.
up, fam? Chris, just talked to I guess kind of your boss, Eckley. He said do a better job, do work. So we did it tonight. So we just came from there. We were sitting in a car. It was a half hour ago. I was sitting in a car, 10 minutes here, just enough time to set up, and we're back.
They rushed me out to come to the show.
Yes, we did. We pulled her out of the car. What's up, Mike? Boston Mike in the house. Eckley is your boss. Okay, well, I did not put in a good word for you. I did the opposite of that.
Oh, boy.
Robert, what's happening? Yes, see you in Dallas.
Days.
So he made a funny statement the other day. His boss, Mike, right? Yeah. Anyway.
He really is his boss?
Yeah.
He's been serious?
Okay. Yeah. So they have a dealer round table at Knowledge Fest on Sunday. At the same time, we're having our class, which is obviously a much better class. And he goes, "Oh, sorry, boss, I'll be in Dean and Fernando's class," which makes sense because, and this is my curiosity.
I don't blame them.
So my thing is why would you have a dealer thing at the same time you're having guys talk who would probably be like owners, managers that need to understand. But either way, we're doing our class Sunday at 9. It's going to be awesome because
I hear you're sprucing it up.
We are going to add, because the industry awards, the MEA industry awards, so installer of the year, sales associate of the year, sales tech, whatever it is, he's one of them, which his class is after ours. So it's going to be him, Dan Bauman from Titan, and Kingpin.
Right, and I didn't know who the other guy was. I'm glad you said that.
Robert. Anyways.
No, I know Robert.
Kingpin.
And I know Kingpin.
Oh,
the
Dan,
other guys that won, I didn't know.
Dan the man. Okay. So anyways, we're adding in a portion about making your video for that.
For the awards.
Best practices for doing your video for awards. We're going to add that into that on Sunday morning.
Right, you said that.
Because we've made a couple successful videos. I've helped people
just a couple, right?
Win a couple awards over the years in doing this.
How come you didn't help me with mine?
You didn't ask. They asked. So anyways, I'm gonna add that in and do a little bit of talk on how to do your rules. Plus I've been a judge, so I know what we're looking for.
Right.
So I mean, honestly, we should just change it to that. Like, come learn how to win.
Oh, there you go.
Because I know what the judges
and I'm gonna
miss
the class, damn it.
So anyways, that's gonna be that. So Mary Lou is here for the last show live for a while. So it's really kind of sad.
Who knows? I love Florida.
Oh no, I'm not saying it for a while. I just said for a while.
Yes, for a very while.
From what we know, you're just
until 2024, most likely.
Purchase Boston Donuts will have the highest attendance guaranteed. I'll go get some Boston cream donuts. I mean, I had one this week and thought of you the whole time. I was like, it's like eating a little piece of Mike. Oh, so gross. Ground Zero introducing GAN high-end amplifiers at Knowledge Fest according to C Outlook. Which is kind of funny because like we reported on it before C Outlook did, which is usually not how it goes. She's supposed to report on it first so that we can then take the story from her. But they were trying to keep it quiet, and not talk about it being GAN. And then Diogo, of course, was just so excited and just let it out. And it was like, okay. So then, So no, we'll check those out. There's actually going to be a car that has them in.
Nice.
So I'm hoping to get to film it. That'll be pretty fun. And of course, we are talking about Knowledge Fest Dallas. So if any of you are in Dallas area, like our boy Chris is, if you would like to come meet Chris, as we call him, Phantom Chris.
No violence, Chris.
Choose violence always.
He wants me to hit you. Are you sure you want that?
Yeah, I mean, if it'll put me out of my misery right now, go for it.
No.
But anyways, if you'd like to miss Chris, if you'd like to if you would like to meet Chris, let me make that English. If you'd like to meet his old partner, who we call Matt Smell, if you'd like to meet Andy Waymeyer and his son Jacob, if you'd like to meet Brian Mitchell, if you'd like to say hi to Jeff as he stops in and goes, hey, and then runs away and comes back later, you can. We'll be at Jay's Tent Thursday, Dallas. Please come check us out. There's going to be lots of cars. Suppose there's going to be food. If for nothing else, food. So that would be fun. Fro is in the house. What's up, Fro? So you've never met Fro. Have you ever met Fro?
No.
So
I only saw him on the video for Master Tech.
Yeah, I was going to say. So Fro's a good friend of ours, and he always helps us at Master Tech when him and Fernando go and do the video. Because I'm busy doing other stuff because we work there.
Fernando got an assistant.
But Fro, yes. But Fro is very helpful, and he's always been really good to us. So
nice. He used to have a show as well?
Yes, he used to have a show.
Yeah, I thought
and then he became a manager, and then he's not doing a show anymore.
Oh, now he doesn't have time.
No, yeah. There's always a reason for something. Yeah. I know, it probably wouldn't matter because I don't think I have enough hair. Trust me, I hate wearing it, so I am going to take it off. But I was wearing it because
you look so good on it.
No, I don't.
It's right for Fosky. What are you talking about?
It's the shiny spot in the back that they don't get to see anyways. Did I ever tell you that's why we switched to 2 cameras when we used to do our unboxings? So we do our unboxings and we lean forward like this and we point to the things. And I go, God, man, geez, that's blinding. So I brought in a camera and we switched.
What?
I don't care. I can't see it. To me, it's behind me. If you're living in the past, if you're looking at the shiny spot. But no, it's dude. So. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's do that. How was the show at AMP? So it's today and tomorrow. We were going to come out tomorrow. So if anyone's hoping to see us tomorrow, Fernando might come. I'm not. I saw enough today.
He said he might.
But the show, I talked to Jeff, who's, of course, running around like a madman. And I talked to Matthew Palumbo. Of course, you guys know from AMP. They're both on the show Monday. They're all out there. I guess all the management for AMP was there this morning. And there's a bunch of cars.
It was a few.
Plenty. I heard 2 cars.
So did I.
You
no, 3. I actually got 3.
You got 3?
3 demos.
Yeah.
The interesting part is that they don't, and I understand that why. I just didn't think about it. They don't give you the demos until they go for the testing.
Correct.
Because they don't want to mess it up and not be ready when they're supposed to be. So until they go, they don't give you the demo. But it was pretty cool.
I understand.
Huge kid.
I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Haley won't wear a hat because she thinks her ears are big. So she's like, I got your ears. They're so big. And wear a hat. They stick out more. I'm like, nobody cares.
She can't put them inside.
No, she hates it. Since that is the worst thing ever. She's so bad.
I don't know why we're self-conscious about this.
Ask her, because people are.
I like big brains. Frank?
Yeah, click.
Would I have a big brain?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. I mean, what is it? I want to bring a charger, but with the show at K-Fest next week, that's a lot of travel. I mean, listen, let them pay for the gas. No, he's gonna, he'd bring the truck. Let him pay for the gas.
Right?
Why would? Yeah, no, forget that.
I cannot hear the charger.
I bought my daughter a 2010 Equinox. I'm looking to upgrade the entire system so she has better speakers, a 5-channel Alpine I have from an old car. It doesn't have steering wheel controls. Okay, so you're still going to need an interface. What I would suggest is going over to pack-audio.com. If you're not doing like backup camera or anything like that, you can probably find the LC, low cost. It's probably going to be like an LC GM24, which is just an affordable version of the interface that it's like, because that's gonna be an interface piece. If not, they'll have it like an LC GM29, but I think it's a 24. The reason why I said if you're not going to do backup cameras or anything like that, because it doesn't have those. All it has is the chime and the accessory generator. If you want to get something for like backup camera and stuff like that, then you need to go up to like one of the RPs. But that's really about it. But yeah, pack-audio.com. You can get a list of all the parts you need, and then head over to Amazon, pick them up. What's that? Go ahead, click on it.
You already have one, I think.
No, it's okay. Dean, dumb question, but could you guys make a 5-star wire ruler, maybe a little thicker? I keep snapping mine. Really? Maybe a Christmas giveaway idea. Yeah, that's weird because
That's interesting.
I mean, I'm very brutal with mine. They do say 5-star on them, by the way. They say 5-star and Mobile Solutions because that's who we sell them through. But we've sold hundreds and hundreds of them. It's actually kind of mind-boggling.
Well, that's probably why.
How many of those we've sold? No, because people tell me.
No, I'm just teasing.
Trust me. With me being me, people the first, hey man, I broke yours, and it's like I've replaced. Because if you call Brian and tell him you snapped it, he'll send you a new one. And then I send him a new one. So anytime, it's warranty. You get your warranty on it. So if you break it,
a plastic ruler has a warranty.
Yeah, why not? Why would
crazy.
I not? But we've tried. So the reason why we don't do a thicker one has to do with the drill bit. Because if you're using a drill press, that's fine. But nobody uses a drill press. So what happens is because we experimented with this a lot before we made it, but. If you go in with the drill bit and you're at an angle, what happens is you chip the acrylic, which automatically screws it up. So that's why we went with the 1/8 inch to make it easier to drill through. Because we were going to make them out of 1/4 inch, and then we started working it. I kept cracking the corners of the acrylic, and I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work.
See,
mine came broken.
Be like from. Just use acrylic cement.
It did not come broken. I put it in your hand, man. But yes, you can glue them back together with acrylic glue, 100%. Trev, thank you so much for the $10, man.
There's Mr. Sixpack.
I think he's got more than a 6-pack.
Yeah, I figured. I asked him the other day, he wouldn't answer.
Yeah, he's you're noticing things I'm not. Cleaned up my radio harness. Probably shouldn't have. I had T-taps, a camera, 6-volt, and a steering wheel control from Metra. No alternate now, no T-taps, and clean, but I have a small alternator wind. Don't know where to start diagnosing. Obviously, you're going to want to look like if you soldered it together, I would start looking immediately at your solder points for your power, ground, and accessory, probably your ground. I'd also take a look at the shrink wrap. If you put shrink wrap on them, a lot of people, like if you're not a master solderer or wire twister for that matter, and you don't let the heat, if like with thin walled heat shrink, and then you tape it all together, you run the risk of poking.
I heard that before. Yeah.
And you could get it. So I would start, if you taped it up, I would start just by taking the tape off and spreading everything out and see what that does. Because sometimes that is where the problem is. And then I would look at your ground and your power and just see how everything's doing. Yeah, go for it.
Sounds like
I've been asking for advice on my 2022 Toyota Camry hybrid 9-inch non-JBL system. Now the 5-channel amp I've stumbled upon was the JL Audio VXI with 1005i. Ooh. So the VXI with 1005i should deal with all the problems you're going to run into. It's just you're going to have to do it manually or find somebody that has a max tune to make that do what you need it to do. Because the Toyota, as we've talked about before, it is EQ'd. It has all pass filters. And if you want to do time alignment, and only if you want to do time alignment is this an issue. If you don't want to, then you're fine. Would this be the complete package for my Toyota if I forked out this $3,000 for the amp and speaker stuff? Like I said, so yeah, we're kind of carrying on. VXI will do all the things you need it to do in this car to make it sound good. It'll fix all the problems. But if you don't have, if you're not worried about time alignment, it's a super simple thing. I don't have a 6-pack anymore. What's up?
I figured that much.
Yeah. Hola, Marty, Mr. Dean. So yeah, that's a great amp. It's a great amp. It'll do everything you need it to in that car. There's an easy way to, so you can also, like, the one cool thing about the VXI with the Tune software is if you get the USB mic, not from them, just a USB mic, you can then do auto EQ and stuff like that. Not crazy max tune type stuff, but some auto features are built into the amplifier. So it will make, could make your job a little bit easier.
Does he need the kicker key lock?
So there again, if you would, the key lock is making your life easier. It's just a get out of jail free card. I don't have to screw with these things beforehand. So it allows you to start at 0. The VXI will do it, but you're going to have to do it for it. So it's kind of like going to the store and buying a cake, key lock, or going to the store and buying cake mix, the VXI. They'll both make a cake in the end. It's just how much effort do you want to put into it for the kids. Okay. So the VXI is capable of doing it. It's got all the things that you need to do it. The key lock will make your life easier. So if this were me and I didn't want to spend a lot of time thinking with it, I would just put a key lock in front of it. However, some guys will tell you, no, you could just, and there again, if you have somebody in your town that has a max tune, you can pay them to tune it and they'll take care of all that stuff. And there again, it always comes down to, do I want time alignment or not? Because if you don't want time alignment, it sounds like if the alignment sounds good, you just want to do equalization, then you don't have to worry about getting rid of the all-pass filter. You can just let it run out the way it is. How do you connect a kicker key 200.4 power cable to a distribution block with an 8-gauge output, or okay to solder a different gauge wire? So that's a great question because it's a 12-gauge wire that comes off of the 200.4. Typically, I'm putting a ferrule on it, which is automatically going to make it a little bigger, and then I'm going to put it into the 8-gauge, and typically it will fit fine. However, yes, if you'd like to solder on a bigger piece of wire, as long as you know how to solder and it's going to be a good, solid connection. I've never done that, though. I automatically just put it in, and I put a ferrule on it, I go right in, and it works every time. So
that's an interesting question.
It is an interesting question. Hello, guys. How do I use the JBL DSP amp just as a DSP? Oh, great question. So for those of you who don't know, JBL and Infinity, same company, make a 8-channel or a 4-channel respectively. And they're 25 watts by 8 on the JBL, and then the Infinity is like 100, and it's AB, and it's really weird. It's cool, but it's only 4 channels. Anyways, the 8-channel DSP doesn't have any outputs. Have you ever seen this thing?
No.
It's kind of cute. We have 2 of them around here somewhere. One of them is on the back of our kicker display that we made. Okay. Because we needed a DSP amp, and we needed it small and not draw a lot of current. Okay. So we used it so we could show how a kicker key worked. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. So we could show how the kicker key worked. Mm-hmm. Anyways, and then Kicker took our class and remade it, and they used their amp because like, yeah, we're not going to use it. I was like, yeah, we use what we had. So use the right tool for the right job. So anyways, it's a 25 watt output, which is a very low amount of power. So depending on the amplifiers you buy, if the amplifiers are capable of taking a high voltage input on the RCAs, you just simply run it into there. You could also, if like say the amplifier you're going to have uses like you'll take a 5-volt input, then you're just going to go into your gains in the electronic software and you're going to turn those down so that you can match you put a voltmeter on and play test tone and match your output voltage. But it's really about it. Most amplifiers, or if your amplifier just has a high level input section on it, you can run it directly into the high level. It's like it's one of those amps that has like an audio control has RCAs and it has high level. So what you do is just run into the high level section of that amplifier and let the full 25 watts just go into it, and it will deal with it.
I'm just wondering why not use the amplifier? Why would you just want to use the DSP?
Well, because it's an 8-channel amplifier, but a lot of times you want to use it's only 8. So if you want to use 2 of the channels to go out to a sub amp, you want to run into the high level input on the sub amp. So yeah. Hey guys, keep the questions coming. Hopefully we'll get Fernando in here to actually help me. But in the meantime, hold on, wrong one. Not that. I'm having a hard time hitting buttons.
Does he have more over here?
No. He's not even set up and ready to go. Oh. It's that time of the show again, what we like to call, now here's the right button. We like to call Mosconi's DSP Quick Tips. I know how much you love this section, Mary Lou.
I like this section.
This is a fun one. So today we're going to look at one of the features that the new software has of how to do time alignment or how to enter those numbers. And in doing so, it gives us the ability to talk about a couple things that are unique to time alignment and data entry for time alignment. So the first thing we're going to come in and do is we're going to switch from basic to advanced mode, pro mode, and then we're going to hit Alt and press the button M. And it's going to give me this warning like, what are you doing? But this is going to unlock a feature that we notice now over here. It says measure. That's what Alt M is for. So we'll click on it. Okay. All right, we have this. All right, come on. Oh, man, really? Okay, hold on. Let's try this again. It's not being nice to me. Okay, yep. Okay. Oh, work offline. All right, so I'm going to just do this until I get this to work. Basic mode, nope, advanced, Alt M is on, selected OK.
I'll put some dots in there.
Dysfunction. You know, it's funny.
You should set Barney for what? You should.
Yeah, Barney's coming.
Yes, we do. Oh, Mike, you're hilarious. Let's see.
That's no fun.
More questions, people? We don't see your questions.
I mean, they're waiting for this cool demo that I'm going to do here. And, of course, I had it working before I went live, and then you go live, and it's like, oh, good for you. We don't care anymore.
Let's go.
Might have to save this one till Monday.
There's the timekeepers.
Yeah. All right. Well, crap.
Javier Gonzalez says that Mosconi AS series amps are good amps.
Yeah, we actually, if you guys caught it, we just did the Mustang where we put the Mosconi 90.8 AB class and the 1001 D class. And it sounded amazing. Put them on a set of Focal K2s, 3-way set.
I think it's a good combo.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Is the DSR1 is still the top budget DSP? Was looking to buy one today.
Yeah, it's a pretty hard one to beat for sure. We just put one in this week.
And now, there he is.
Hey, what's going on?
They were missing you.
Nobody misses me.
Oh, they do.
No, totally, because this isn't working.
Especially
it's supposed to.
Dean.
No?
He's like, God.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not even set up.
Well, no, I was trying to walk through the actual software.
What's up, Doc?
And it's glitching out on me.
Of course. I mean,
there he is.
So.
What's up, guys? What's up, Fro? Dean Marilu.
Look, can you delete him what he wants me to do?
What do you want to do? Habla mal. Oh, did I say bad words?
Because he was not saying. He didn't put a good word for him.
What's
he didn't put a good word for me either.
Did you tell them where we are? Like where we went?
Yeah, they asked.
Okay, so.
All right, I'm gonna restart this.
That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. What'd you tell them about the trucks you listened to?
I listened to cars. FJ Cruiser. That I'm really impressed in that one. That was awesome.
We love that one.
It had.
You did like it too, right?
Oh, dude, that was insane.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the most. That's probably one of the best demos I've ever had.
Impressive.
So I'm just gonna speak because I have a mouth, and I'm gonna say that he's gonna win the money round.
I hope so. I don't know what they're going for. But
Yeah, I didn't listen the other cars, but
I don't think they're gonna sound that good.
I think he's gonna win the money round.
So he explained what he had in it.
So
first off, it was a Bobby box.
Has a Bobby Daly box.
Yes.
He made the amp rack for Sabco amplifiers. He has a Brax DSP running everything. And he has a GS9. And the funny part about the GS9 is the GS9
comes up.
is just an expensive turn-on amplifier. That's what it is. He has a file portable player that he's running everything. And I asked him, so what is the Sony, doing? And he's like, dude, I've been changing everything. And right now it's just expensive turn on. And I'm like, that's crazy. But I get it. You upgrading everything. And the file right now is actually the money right there. So I was impressed.
Yeah, it was.
It has a 213 W7s. And
you have pictures.
I just take one picture from the amplifier.
But that was very cool. That rack?
Yeah, I didn't even.
And Bobby made it too, he said.
Yeah, Bobby make everything. No, I didn't even, because you didn't even
You can even see it.
You can even
You
tell what
forgot
it
your
is.
camera.
Oh yeah, you just took the picture.
I just took the
Yeah,
picture.
That's
Yes.
funny. That was the first thing I asked him about. Is that 2-inch acrylic?
Yeah.
You have to ask Bobby.
Yes, it's a
Like,
2-inch acrylic. So that was amazing.
So what was the material on the rim?
That was
The
aluminum.
box? No, the one that looked like a glass.
That's acrylic. That's a 2-inch acrylic.
I thought it was something different.
Right.
On the front, right on the frame of the box.
That was acrylic.
Okay.
That was acrylic.
That
It's
looked
kind of one
very
of
different.
Bobby's things is he's
Yeah.
known for his acrylic.
So what he
That looked
does is he can turn that ported box into a sealed box.
That was interesting.
So he has screws, pops out with magnets, of course, and then screwed in the port, the cover, and he can make it as a seal box. So that was pretty good. I enjoyed that car for sure.
It was fun.
Looking for a good loaded enclosure to match.
The T1000 X5 sub channel.
For that we usually do like a
P3s.
no 2s. We usually go P2s.
It's a T1005.
Yeah, it's the 5th channel of a,
Okay.
yeah, it's 5 channel. It's
Yes.
5 channel. We usually
Yeah.
do the P2s.
P2s.
So we usually do 2 P2s. Rockford, or even Kicker would work too, but typically it's like we do 2 P2s off that one. Yeah, I got them.
Thank you.
I got
All of
those.
them?
Yeah, I got them all.
Perfect.
No, there's a new one. There.
That one.
That one.
This is the only one I haven't got yet.
All right,
So
Jordan, thank you.
hold on. I got it. Stop. I got it. Have you all done any 2023 Accord hybrids with the Bose system? If so, can you please take it to a professional installer, or should I look for a specialist? So we haven't done the 2020. We've done the 2022 hybrid, which I think is the same car with the Bose system. And yeah, you kind of have to have somebody that knows what they're doing on this one. You're going to need lots of channels of input and lots of amplification. So like you need to reamplify the center channel. So, getting like a multi-channel amplifier, something that has like 8 channels or 10 channels of power with DSP is a really good idea. There's a lot of them out there now, but yeah, you're going to need that to
At least
that.
what, 9?
Well, you need 6 inputs. You need at least 6 inputs because you need left and right, tweeter, mid, and you need center and sub. So you need at least something that has at least 6 inputs, and then you need to re-amplify the center channel, and then you have the tweeters need to be on their own channel. The mid has to be on their own channel. Whatever you're going to do for the rears are just going to be taken off of the front, and then sub. So yeah, it's you don't know if you don't know what you're doing, then it's going to suck. Good afternoon, guys. I'm going through the schedule for K-Fest, and on Sunday your class at 9 a.m. overlaps with Andy's. Is it okay to have my friend record your class so that I can watch it later, personal use? That's entirely up to K-Fest. That's their thing, not our thing. You'd have to ask Chris. And I can tell he's usually not keen on that, but whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, no, we don't care, but I will ask Chris for sure.
All right, so let's back up this, and we're gonna go back to this. All right, let's try this one more time. Hey guys, it's that time of the show again, brought to you by Mosconi Clayton, where we're gonna talk about DSP quick tips. That's right. Today we're going to talk to you about entering. Why did I hit that? Today we're going to talk to you about entering your distance for delay. You're going to hit Alt-M on your keyboard. It's going to bring up this measured tab. And when you click on it, it's going to bring up this page here. This is where a lot of the new features like Barney are done. But if you're on the other side, which I'm not going to switch to right now, I will when we get back, it just has a column there, and it asks you to do your math. And so at that point, you'd have to take measurements, and you'd have to figure out how far you are, and then you have to convert it over to milliseconds of delay. And sometimes that can get to be a lot of fun. So most DSPs have some kind of a calculator built into them, and this is where Mosconi hides theirs, is on the delay measured page. What we have here is some measurements. So we're going to go in and we're going to add in inches. So it asks you, do you want to enter in inches? And you say yes. We'll say 36 for that. And then it'll automatically calculate the delay for you. And then 50 over here. So it's doing those times in milliseconds, which is what we're looking for. we'll say this is 37 for the mid-range. Enter, come over to this side. There we go. And we'll say 51. Now, some DSPs are going to want you to do what's called basic subtraction, meaning you're going to take the farthest speaker and you're going to subtract everything from that and get the numbers that way that you can enter in to do math with. So, for example, this speaker here is 49 inches away. This is the this is the farthest speaker out. So you would then subtract 36 from 49 and take that number, which is 7, and you're going to actually enter the number 7. And where 49 is you're going to enter 0, because there's going to be 0 milliseconds delay on that speaker, because that's your farthest speaker. So you're going to take that 7 inches, and that's going to convert it over to milliseconds, and that's how much time you're going to, milliseconds of delay, you're going to add to that farther out speaker. And then every one after that. So, for example, it actually was the mid-range is actually the farthest one out, which is weird. But let's just say the mid-range was this
one right here, right?
Yeah. So, I put 50. It's 59. Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I can't read. So 59. So that would be 17 milliseconds delay, or 17 inches converted to milliseconds. And then the closer speaker, which is 8 inches away, would then convert over. So, but what this is doing is this is doing all that for you, so that you don't have to figure that out, which is kind of nice, because math is nobody's fun. So we'll type in 30 inches for the rear, and we'll come over and add in the last measurement, which is 49, and then our subwoofer, which is on this channel here,
48.
It's 48. So it's gone through and it's figured out the time in milliseconds in these yellow boxes here. And then 0 is what we're looking for. And then we'll say calculate values and send to DSP. This is done. Now, if we exit out of here and we go back to preset 1, so we'll close this. And we come over here to this. Now all of those numbers are entered into our delay right here.
Very cool.
So this is where it gets kind of fun. You'll notice these boxes here that say A, B, A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, C, D. And then you'll see these boxes down here. So what this is used for is, let's say I want to adjust just the driver's side speakers. Okay, I can come down here and I can unclick B, and now A is the only one highlighted in this bottom box. So if I go and tap that, you'll notice that just the A group is adjusting. This is called group delay.
Okay.
So for example, if I'm sitting in the car and for some reason my center is off, and I'm like, something sounds weird. Now, keep in mind that tape measure is always right? 3 inches is always 3 inches. Mm-hmm. However, depending on where you measured in the headrest or whether you compensated for the grill, there's an opportunity for a couple inches of variation there, all right? And so not always do you get the numbers pinpoint accurate. So sometimes you have to go in and you can play with it and just add a couple more or delete a couple more.
Very cool.
Reverse. And so all it's doing is adjusting that one side. Now, the other thing that is most important when adjusting is that if you're solid, like, no, I'm pinpoint accurate, my numbers are perfect, why do I still have a problem? Well, I come over to this next group right here where it says levels of dB, and I deselect B. And now if I go and I adjust here, what it's doing is it's actually removing audio. It's going to take the volume down. Most of the time when you're adjusting, like for a miscalculation in your center image and time delay, it's a volume issue because this tweeter, this mid-range, this mid-bass are all closer to you. So you have to compensate for that somehow. So removing power from them will do the same but more accurate, because now it's like, listen, 30 inches is always 30 inches. I have 30 inches, but this is still too loud. That's a power problem, not a measurement problem.
Correct.
Because if I add or decrease delay in this side, it's not going to know. And what's going to happen is you're going to get some weird waffling, or some stuff will sound good and other stuff won't, or it'll walk and it'll do wobble, or lots of things can happen. Now, if you don't want to do group delay, because sometimes sometimes the mid-range is wrong. So typically what I'll do is I'll play the tweeters, I'll check for them, and I'll do the mid-range, and I'll check for them, I'll do the mid-bass, and I'll check for them. And then I'll turn them all on. And if I'm still off, then I know, okay, well, now I need to do a group delay. So group delay is one of the really cool features that is available on more advanced DSPs. And that has been the basics of setting up time delay.
Very nice. And
Yay,
easy.
we made it.
Yes, you made
Just
it.
close it and walk away. It's like, gosh, Windows machines. Oh, you ruined my day. Yeah.
Elias, what's up, buddy?
It's like the phrase I always say it's like, oh, you have an Android phone. We're going to use my iPhone first, because Android always kills the demo.
Someone was giving me a demo today, and he had an Android. He was issues connecting with the Bluetooth. And I'm like, first of all, why are you giving me a demo with the Bluetooth?
All right, now that you say something
okay.
like that, are you gonna click in something?
Yeah, let me click on this real quick. Museway D8, any feedback is welcome. So we do have some Museway stuff coming. I don't know when it's actually going to get here. So stay tuned. We'll have more answers. I have not played with the stuff yet. So once we get some stuff in, we'll give you guys some feedback on it.
I have friends asking me about it. I'm like, no,
I don't know.
It hasn't made it all the way here yet.
You know, I have Troy, the red hair.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it's just a cool guy. I love that guy. Love you, buddy.
Troy
uses it, and it's awesome.
Well, dude, listen, it's great stuff. Once we get it here, we'll get Norton on, and we'll have him talk to us about it, and we'll
get
have
to listen to it.
Yeah. All right, so I was trying to do that one.
When time aligning an active system, do you measure distance to all drivers? Yes, that was the numbers I was typing in. So what we do here is, I'm just trying, there we go. What we do here is, the first thing we measure is the seat and where it's located in the car before the installation starts, because we're going to move that seat, all right? And we want to make sure we put it back to where the driver was when he dropped off his car. If somebody shorter drives a car or taller drives a car, well, hey, we only play with the cards we have. And then, as you can see, all these numbers here, you have your tweeter, mid-range, mid-bass, rear, subwoofer, all get measured to that area that we're deeming the center of the headrest. Okay, and so we'll compensate for grill. So we'll kind of have an idea. It's like, hey, we need to add 2 inches to everything, or we need to not add, or we need to add 1 inch to here, 2 inches to there. So you're going to measure all drivers, because you can do a group tune. Meaning you can say, I'm just going to tune all the front speakers at once, or I'm going to just do the rear speakers, or I'm going to tune up both tweeters at the same time. But as far as delay goes, no, you need to measure each one individually.
Now, I don't know if you talk about, because I was not listening to it. I was looking at it.
No.
Crossovers. If you are passive, right? If you have a passive system, what are you measuring? Tweeter or mid-bass?
So if it's just a two-way system, so that's a good question. So if we're just putting a set of components in passive, and we're doing a DSP, so like a 5-channel basic system, we'll measure all. Like, he'll do the same check sheet whether we're doing an active or a passive system. And the reason for that is because we need to know. So like sometimes if it's a 3-way set, like in the Mustang, I'll go to the mid-range. Because the mid-range are so predominant that if they're off, then it just sounds weird. But like a 2-way set, we're going to the mid-bass. Where that changes is if it's a Morel. Because a lot of times the Morel, I end up going to the tweeter measurement, because those tweeters play so low, is that if and there again, it just comes to how weird the car is set up. So if there's like really, because most of the time there's a ratio that makes sense between, like, the car designers, they know this stuff and they don't just guess. Like in an F-150, in most cases, the tweeter and the mid-range are the identical number. Like they're both like 51 or 49. Yeah. Whereas the driver's side is off usually by 2 or 3, just because of the sharper distance. But these two are always the same, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Now, don't be afraid to change it. Like,
well, there again. So,
then,
but the passive system is always the one that's weird.
Yeah.
The other thing that you could do too is once you have, like I said, there's always 2 to 3 inches that you can play. And sometimes you have to add some to the driver's side and then add or take away some from the passenger side. So don't just all add it to one side unless that's what's solving the problem. But typically with a passive system, I'll play polarity pop tracks. And like if I'm having an issue, like I just can't get it to where it makes sense. And I've tried the tweeter, I've tried the mid bass, and it's still wrong. I'll just switch to the polarity pop tracks and I'll add some delay and within my safe zone. And if that's not working, then I immediately go into level and I'll adjust level. And if I'm having a hard time with level, then I'll actually just go to the EQ side of things and I'll start bringing down, like, because a lot of times it's the tweeter that's just screwing stuff up. I'll go in and I'll bring down the levels on the EQ, you know, a dB or 2, just in the tweeter band, and that'll compensate for that as well.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta.
I gotta be honest. Most of the time, I just do that in the beginning. Like when I'm RTAing the car, the passenger tweeter's always got to be lower than the driver's side. So I'm just doing it as I'm setting it up. I don't even wait because I know I'm gonna have to do it. So
thank you.
Karaoke.
I would do it, man. Just in a few beers, I would do it.
Few beers?
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
A few, not one.
I mean, you know, I've seen them get crazy.
What's going on, lady?
Where's the videos?
There are no videos. I mean, we were all in Vegas when it happened, weren't we? I mean, I feel like that first year in Vegas, we all got a little crazy.
Yeah.
Except me.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, please. Are you kidding me?
Hey, what are you talking? What are you
yeah. We know she's lying. She can't even speak. I didn't say you weren't.
There you go. I agree. See, we should start now.
Oh.
He wants a Hellcat.
Yes, a Hellcat.
He wants a Hellcat. That's like his dream car is a Hellcat.
Yeah, not the Nissan GTR.
Yeah.
No,
I take it, man. I take the GTR.
Yeah,
believe
exactly.
me.
Godzilla. No, we're actually really happy that she's found a new career and she's off to do it. We're not going to talk about it yet. We'll get her back on in a couple months, and she can give us an update on what's going on in her life.
Yes, we'll keep you posted.
Like anything else, it's never easy. It's never easy.
There you go. Boom.
DSP quick tips answer my question.
There you go. That's
why we do them, and we like to thank Mosconi Gladen. So you can find them at MosconiAmerica.com. And I will say this, you know, a high quality AB class amplifier.
High quality
AB class amplifier is so much different.
It is.
You know, it is really refreshing to play with those amps. So if you ever get the opportunity to either play with, listen to, or buy some yourself, I do strongly recommend you get any one of them. The Class AB Mosconi amplifier.
Wow. You suck.
Wow.
What do we want if it's damaged?
I don't want to work on anything like that.
It
sounded phenomenal, man. It was crazy.
I missed that.
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
I missed that one.
That was one of those things where it just like, it just kept getting louder and louder and louder. And it sounded so good, man. I was like, damn, I think this is one of the best.
Did it inspire you to finish your
No, it
Mustang?
inspired me to know that if I do put amps in my Mustang, they're more than likely going to be Mosconi AB class amplifiers. Because
I
should be a sponsor.
I was never disappointed.
Hey, you know, we're
disappointed.
gonna be there. We always, you know, we're gonna pimp the places we're gonna be. So,
like always.
You know, Knowledge Fest will be fun. Before you got here, I was talking about how we're adding in the sections to the class on Sunday at 9. You know, we're gonna talk about how to enter videos and all that fun stuff.
How to make everybody a winner
for your awards. How to make an award video.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a guy. He's going to announce, you know, the guy that is going to teach the class. He's going to be, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you're going to have a presenter.
Florida. Yes.
Yeah. He's going to try to do his thing. Do I need IQ to EQ? That's a big fat no. I can tell you there's a no there because we know plenty of people that fall in that category. So, you know, don't treat yourself wrong. For sure.
Did you guys replace the head unit on the Mustang now?
No, we kept the head unit in the Mustang.
Factory
Let's
head
get
unit.
an Escort head unit using the Mustang. We kept, so that was a brand new, that was a 2021, 2022 Mustang with the BO system. And so we integrated with the DSR1 and took the DSR1 and went directly into the Mosconi. So for those of you playing at home, yes, we used 2 DSPs. We just didn't use the DSP. We didn't use the DSR1 for DSP. And in that particular car, we had already put an epicenter in it, which was cool, but normally what we'd have used is, because we can reprogram that radio with the DSR1, so subwoofer control can be bass, and then punch bass can be speed volume control.
Right.
And I actually set it up for that, and I was like, I don't think we need an epicenter and punch bass. That's probably a little too much. That sounds like blown speakers to me. So, oh, Dairy Queen. I love Dairy Queen.
Is this the audio control make a EQ, like a 9-band EQ?
They make a 3-band EQ.
3-band EQ.
They make a 3-band EQ. Yeah, in-dash, half-in, 3-band EQ.
okay.
Yeah. They make one. They make one with a walkie-talkie on it too.
Which one you think is like the best? I know I got it.
In-dash EQ.
In-dash EQ.
A laptop with maybe have Soundman make you an iPad dash kit and put a TSR1 in the trunk. I mean, I listen, man. If you just want knobs, audio control is probably the best knobs out there. It's limited on what you can do because there's only 3 bands, but those are 3 really good bands.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot. You just need the right ones, and they do. But
all right,
it's just not my thing anymore.
Hi guys, I got my 3-way front stage with the AC D6 1200 plus the LC 1.800 for the subs. But now I want to add rear speakers and maintain the time alignment. Should I buy the D4.800 or the DM810 plus the LC 4.800?
So this is one of those things where, what do you do? Okay, so let me run a couple scenarios by you that might make the most sense. The first thing is, this is the problem with the D6 1200, is that it only has one set of RC outputs.
Yeah.
And if you're using it for your subs, it's kind of like whack, whack, whack.
Yeah.
All right, here's what I would suggest doing. For shits and giggles, let's disconnect the sub amp from the D6 1200's output.
Okay.
Let's just run whatever I'm running inputs into channels 1 and 2. So if I have an aftermarket radio, I'm just going to either use the sub output from my radio, go directly into my 1.800, or if I'm going factory integration into it, I'm just take whatever I have going into 1 and 2, as long as it's like a mid-range or whatever the lowest frequency is, whatever I'm getting for sub bass, I'm going to run that into my LC 1.800.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to see how that sounds. Meaning, is there a difference because I've taken the time alignment away from the sub? Am I having a problem now? If I'm not noticing anything, which most of the time you don't notice anything, it sounds the exact same. In that case, it makes your life so much easier. Just pick up an ACM 2.300, plug it into those rear outputs of the D6 1200, time align your rear speakers, EQ them, call it a day. Life is great. Now, if you have an aftermarket radio that has a subwoofer output on it, then you're actually good. You can just go right into that the LC 1.800. If you want delay, you can do it from the radio. But if it's a factory radio, I understand. But most of the time, what we do in this situation is we just run the LC 1.800 without time alignment, and we go use the channels outputs to go to a 2-channel amp, the ACM 2.300. If you want to do bigger power, you could do an LC 4.800. If you want to go with the D 4.800, you can. It's going to be 2 laptops. It's going to be a lot of work. It's doable, but it is a lot of work. I think our way might be better. Now, if you're competing and you're like, I want upfront bass and all that, I totally get it. That would be the way to go. Is to
see, for me, it's because I'm team no rear fill. Don't care.
And there again, that's fine.
My question for him, though, will be like, we using factory radio or we using aftermarket
That's
radio?
the most important thing.
Right?
Is whether he's a factory or aftermarket. Because
at the end of the day, if you use an aftermarket radio, I would do just regular speakers, throw it from the radio.
Even if it's an aftermarket radio, more than likely there's something done to those rears from the factory.
Yeah.
So you could probably just high level directly into those, into like an ACM 2.300, and you have volume control. So, because the least amount of work that I do in a car,
I don't have too much space available.
That's what we're talking about. The ACM 2.300 is this little tiny thing that's like this big, okay, and it's 150 watts by 2. So that's what I mean. It's a small amplifier, so it'll do the trick. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this without going full crazy on it.
All right, let's go full crazy. Why not?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Okay, click on it. If you had a choice, would you choose a very nice aftermarket head unit with no DSP, or keep the stock head unit and a nice DSP? What would you do?
I will do the nice DSP.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay, Fernando.
I mean, I will go for the
Okay.
screen, but not really.
For me, it's always like I would choose. Man, I don't know. I would do a radio.
Yes.
I would do a radio 100% because if you
I can
don't have
always
a
buy
good
a
signal,
DSP. Yeah, if you have a shitty
if
signal.
you don't have a good signal, it doesn't matter what you get through the DSP. You're gonna get out of the DSP the same thing.
But
You
most
get
of
it
the
in.
cars nowadays, they have everything we need on a stereo.
Yeah, but so even if I do Amp Pro,
Mm-hmm.
I'm only as good as whatever
True.
that factory radio was.
That
So,
is true.
like for example,
That is true.
the reason why
I always forget about the integration part of it. Not
iData
being
is
so reliable.
taking so long on the A to B is
Mhm.
because they just went back and redid their whole preamp section
Okay.
because they were like, oh, that's important. Yeah, it's kind of important.
That's
So
a
that-
funny question.
Well, and there again, how good does it have to be? Is the question? How good does it have to be? Like Zen Nav TV's NA to B uses Burr Brown DA converters, and there's NA to B. Okay,
Okay.
so they have a good sound to them. Okay, but there again, there's that road of going too far,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to go just enough to where whatever is coming out of the radio. So that's why it's like, oh, what high level to low level do you use? Is it crappy
Right.
one for $15 or this one for $120? Well, you don't want your piece between here and here to color. So your device can only be as good as the source that's powering it.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you get an aftermarket radio, like anything from 2016 back should have an aftermarket radio because the radios just suck. Features suck. The radios are slow. It's time to get a new one. I'd even go 19 at this point, but sometimes you can't. But your radio, your system, you're always fixing something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so do you want to fix something or tear it down and build a new one?
Mhm.
So if I can tear it down and build a new one, I'm gonna tear it down and build a new one.
Yeah, it's
So-
always a better way to go.
All right, so here you go. You have a Kenwood radio.
Oh Jesus! So
See?
if you have the Kenwood radio, super simple.
Yep.
Just take the subwoofer output, go into the LC 1.800. If you want the time delay, whatever number you put in, you can add that. Like if you said 54 inches, put 54 inches in the radio, but you probably won't because, like I said, you're not going to need it. Or screw all that. If you just want to, actually, you know what? Better yet, we're going to do it Fernando's way.
Mhm.
Don't even bother doing nothing as far as leave everything hooked up the exact way it is now.
Yeah.
Put some rear speakers in, power them off of the deck power.
That's it.
The deck power has a DSP built into it, so your time delay is there, so
Control.
you can add your delay. You can volume match it because in the DSP of the 958 has level control, so you can turn them down, which is what you're going to have to do, believe it or not. You're going to turn them down so that you can balance them between. So it's like having a gain control in the radio. And then if you still need more control, there's actually another level control in the crossover, which is what you're going to use to cross over those rear speakers. It works great. We do it all the time. I mean, we literally do it all the time.
Yeah.
Because I would much rather take a D6-1200 and put it on a really bitchin' set of three-ways and the amp, and then just use the radio to power my rear speakers so I don't have to waste 120 watts on a set of 6.5s that only need like 25 watts.
Now, after that, if you decide, like, yeah, no, you know what, I really need power for those speakers.
Well, then you can still do the
it's
same
just
thing.
Add,
Just add an amp coming out of the RCAs for
Correct.
the Kenwood.
Yep.
It'll all work
So-
out in the end.
there you go.
Way to go. Are you excited? Does that make
I am
sense to you?
excited. Yeah, of course.
You just said
Yeah.
that. You just said
No,
that
no.
to make me feel good. Okay. I agree with everything he says.
No, not with everything. You know that.
100% aftermarket radio. So
I
Boston Mike says 100%. You at least have a flat signal to start, and all radios have minimum.
I
2
guess I
band.
got so used to not having head units for a very long time,
Yes.
and all of my work was directly DSP. But yes, I forgot the part.
Well,
that's
don't
totally
get me wrong. Like just in the Mustang, we use the factory radio because it can do everything we need it to do.
Right.
We're going to get a good enough signal out of it for what we're trying to do.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, so for
Sometimes you
example,
do
like this
something
one.
I guess
Oh.
I just had a flashback with the Tacoma that I deal with.
Oh yeah,
That the stupid
yeah,
signal was
that radio's
stupid.
coming out.
Yeah.
So for example, Dynef head unit, right?
Yeah, in my Mustang.
I put a Dynef head unit in the Mustang. I hope Alpine Chris hopefully asked the Alpine engineers to make a factory replacement for a Mustang. The kits out there are awful.
It depends on the Mustang, because I was going to say the MFT1, the MFT1 kit for my data, simply just you pull out the 8-inch screen and you put it in. Now, if you have the 3.1-inch screen, that's where it gets kind of goofy. iData does have their kit for that, so you can put a Pioneer screen in, the single screen into it. So I mean, but if you have one where you have to put the new kit in it, I can understand. Even still, I'd still go iData because you get more control that way, and it's actually painted and looks really nice. But I understand, but I can rest assured. Oh, it's the 4-inch screen.
I'm gonna put this one.
So it totally sucks. I will say this. Depending on the year, like if it's a newer model, like the 19, 20, and 21, 22, we have the, oh God,
the Muse 2?
The Muse 2.
Yeah. MUS 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you just look it up, because this is too short and my knee hurts too much to jump up there. But the Muse 2, which is the new iData kit for that, the Muse 2 retains all your factory buttons. It retains the little tiny screen, and what you do is you put either the Pioneer 7-inch not floating screen, but touch screen, or their 8-inch touch screen. It's a 2-piece unit that they make. Next year you might have some more variety in that market. For right now, though, you have the Pioneer, which works, and it looks factory-ish because you keep all your factory buttons and you don't have a bunch of weird stuff going on. Did you find it? That's it. That's cool. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You got Crutchfield?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Why not? We have a.
Yeah. Shh. So this is the Muse 2 here. So all those openings are your factory
Just
openings.
remove that one, the area control, so they can see it. Oh no, never mind.
I was gonna say you can see it just fine. So that's the kit. And it looks nice. We put one in. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I mean, you can put probably like the high 10 in there, no?
no, you can't. You can only put either the
The
Pioneer
Pioneer?
7-inch or 8-inch. That is the only radial that'll fit in there, because the 7-inch screen mounts behind it.
Okay.
Yes, we did one the other day.
I don't remember.
I know you don't pay attention.
remember now.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Suggestions for an Infinity.
There you go.
I get it. Everything else in the Mustang is Alpine. Maybe one day. You know, they know the kit exists, so Alpine just needs to make a floating screen. How much difference would be a non-floating screen? Actually, yeah, because they make floating screens. They just won't work in that kit. How much difference would be expected with a DSP? Also, I received negative feedback on audio control software. Tuning-wise, the quote was, yuck. I don't know. So all right. So let's kind of break this down into a few parts that make sense. How much difference should be expected with the DSP? It's kind of a tough thing because I don't understand. I don't know what you've had in the past. Like if you've never had DSP before and you're walking into a DSP, what a DSP is for is ultimate control, which is what we all want, right? Mm-hmm. The DSP gives us the ability, if it's a good DSP, gives us the ability to make lots of adjustments. So if there's problems, it fixes them or it nullifies them. Let's just say that. It'll nullify the problem. So it gives us the ability to go in and do things other than you going, man, I wish I had this. And I go, well, let's open up your radio and you got bass, mid, and treble. Or, there's this thing happening here. Well, let's open up your radio. Okay, you have 13 bands of global equalization, meaning every speaker's adjusted. Oh, that just took all the life out of the system. Well, I can't adjust just that speaker. So with a DSP, I can adjust every speaker that is on a channel. So if I have a tweeter on a channel, I can adjust just that tweeter. Mm-hmm. So if that tweeter is making a weird noise because it's where it's located 5 feet away from you, I can fix that. If I want them to sound the same, meaning because this one is 18 inches away from me, that one's 40 inches away from me, I can, in a DSP, I can make those two speakers sound identical. Don't think for a minute that just because you put two 6.5s in a car, the right one and the left one sound the same to you. They don't. They sound totally different. Okay, so a DSP will allow us to change that because you want speakers to have the same characteristics, same sound. That's what gives you a nice center image. Okay, now as far as receiving negative feedback on audio control software, the new software just got launched, the 2.0 software. And I will say this, okay, we buy as many DSPs as we get hand out. Everyone has seen my shelf with 10, 15 different DSPs on it. When I started in car audio years and years ago, we had to do alarms all the time. And there was one alarm that everyone loved, and that was the Viper. And Viper made Python, Signwinder, and 10 other brands. Okay, but what made them so successful is that the red wire always did one thing, which was constant 12 volts. The black was always ground. The yellow was always accessory. Blue was, I think, positive door trigger. Green was negative door trigger. Purple was always trunk. White was always illumination.
You remember?
That was not brown trunk?
No, brown was star disable. Or who knows? Orange? Who cares? Brown could have been trunk. I don't know. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So my point is that they were always the same. Okay. So what that meant is we introduced Alpine alarm systems in our store, and Alpine didn't use any of those colors. So immediately those alarms sucked. No one wanted to. Oh, I'm not going to put those in. But as soon as my guys, I sat them down, I said, all right. And then the services went down, and then the alarms worked, and then better features. At that point, I flipped the whole store, and it like someone would walk in with a Viper, like, I ain't putting that piece of crap in. Why? Oh, because the colors aren't like the Alpine. That was the only thing. Like, literally, I don't want to put this in because the colors didn't match. So what I mean by that is if you're not familiar with the software, or you go to retailers not familiar with the software, they got a lot going on, okay? And the last thing that they want to do is learn something that they only have to do once. Okay, because it sucks. All right. So they go, all right, well, I will learn this software, but I have to charge you to learn this software. All right. And it's like, well, no, you brought it to me. I don't do this on a daily, so I got to learn this. So I'm going to charge you 6-7 hours of time. Well, no one will do that because they're not going to pay $1,000 for me to tune your stuff. That's just not realistic, right? So my natural response to something that I don't know is what?
That you don't know.
No, it sucks. Right?
That's what
everything we don't understand sucks. So,
and that's what I was gonna say. For the most part, we don't like change.
Right.
A lot of people is used to one way, going home and going back and whatever, and that's it. But the bottom line is, any piece of equipment is as good as the people using it. So if you're not proficient at it, the product doesn't suck. You are the one that sucks. And it's easier to blame it on someone else instead of taking responsibility.
We have to keep in mind that, oh, wow, I can see myself.
So,
Mike, ahead, Mike.
So, Boston Mike put up a whole bunch of words that I'm not going to read because it just hurts my head, but I want him to feel special because he took the time to write this and answer them. Whether you're a purist or a hobbyist that seems to mess around, it's worth it as far as whether you should have a DSP or not. So we'll just skip to the end. But if you'd like to in the comments, read Mike's comments. It's a very, he took the time to write that, and I agree with all of it.
Yeah.
But yes. So anyway.
No, so what I was about to say is sometimes we are fanboys, right?
We're always fanboys. If you're not on my team, you suck.
If you're not on my team, you suck. So some people, they are fanboys. And if they don't like audio control, of course they're going to tell you, no, that sucked. But, trying to find different opinions, see what's going on. Download the software. Play with it, see if it makes sense for you, then go from there.
I saw that.
100%.
What's that?
100%. Steve just got done working. No longer.
No large paragraph.
No, hey, man, I'm glad Mike typed all that because he said what I didn't want to. Yeah. So there again. But listen, I've got so IDATA contracted us to.
Yep. Just click it right there.
I was going to wait for him to finish.
So IDATA contacted us years ago to make the DSR1 loved by everyone. Okay, just like Kicker came to us to make the Kicker key loved by everyone. And it wasn't that we did.
Companies.
It's not that we did anything special, but we brought it down to a level that made it simple to understand.
Right.
Okay. I have guys now that screw that piece. It's got, and then it's like, no, slow down.
I mean, you have to screw the piece.
Watch,
Sure.
Yeah, you have to screw it down. Don't let it float around.
Yes,
but watch
course.
the video. And, well, that makes total sense. Okay.
Right.
So once things get brought down to terms that we can all understand,
Because
then
it's easier to watch a video than it is to
Yeah,
write
for
instructions.
sure. And there again, we made a bunch of videos on the DSR-1 in the beginning to show people how to use them and why they were great. And then all of a sudden the tune changed and people are like, oh, just get a DSR-1. It's super easy to use and it sounds really good. And it's not complicated. But it's like that first look at dude, when you open up DSP software for the first time, your head just goes boom. And you're like, I don't even know what to do. But dude, you carry around, every one of us carries around this nonsense in our pocket. And every now and then we have to hit that little gear that opens this page. And then it's like, oh my, and we just go through a rabbit hole, digging. But we all figure it out. Does that make the phone suck? Because it's not Android and iPhone, by the way, just in case you're, no.
Android suck.
She said it, not me. Yeah. Anyway, everyone
they
knows.
know it, we know it, let's know
Anyway,
it together.
My point is that we always figure it out, okay? Because it's in our best interest. Not every time is it a shop's best interest to do it. DSPs are tools, they work as well as you use them.
Exactly.
I will agree with
And
that.
we're going to end with that one, guys.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Mary Lou, thank you for giving us one more live show and making the
Yes.
trip over here today. I mean, I know really just came over here to say goodbye to Jeff. So
Oh yeah, I did.
I'll
That's great. That's great.
good for you.
You guys
Glad
are
we were
funny.
second on the list.
Keep
You
your
guys
fans
are funny.
updated on what's going on with your life
will.
and everything.
I will.
So,
We'll get
Yeah,
you back
it's
on.
gonna come pretty soon.
Yep. But
Yeah.
hey guys, it's Saturday, which is awesome for everyone out there because listen, it's not Monday, but we will be
Yeah.
back Monday. Which one?
Android.
Oh,
There you go, that one.
Andrea is good.
No, they suck. No los use.
Christian loves his Android, so
I know he does.
Yeah, he's a putz. We fight over it all the time. So, anyways, Monday we'll be back here in the Bay. We'll have some fun with you guys. We'll talk some more about Knowledge Fest, get you guys hyped about Thursday in Dallas.
Thank you,
Because
Sam.
This Thursday in Dallas, it's here, finally here. We'll be at Jay's tent with all the guys hanging out. And then after that, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be at the Omni doing all kinds of stuff with Knowledge Fest. And
Yes,
the
very cool. all of you.
industry awards just came out. So if anyone is going to Knowledge Fest Dallas and they're going to plan on competing in the what I like to call of the year awards,
Yes.
we will be doing our class Sunday at 9, and we're going to give you all the tips and tricks and secret stuff that no one tells you. As a former 2-time world champion of something and a bitchin' video editor, Fernando. No,
I just heard of this right now.
we're gonna give you we're gonna lay it all on the table for you and make it as easy as we can. So if you're coming to Knowledge Fest, definitely come Sunday at 9 o'clock. Andy's class is great, but we're making winners here, guys. We're making winners, and that's really
So,
what
all right.
matters.
So I'm going to do my impression of.
All right, guys. You guys have a great night as always.